I wanted to take you guys along with my journey of weight loss and trying to basically better my self-esteem, my mental health, and kind of show you guys my journey instead of just having like a before and after and you guys having to guess what I did to get there, because I am very confident that this time I'm going to be successful, because this time I feel like I've found my why to lose weight and to get healthy. So with that said, let me introduce myself. My name is Reina. I currently weigh over 200 pounds. I'm not comfortable sharing that number right now. I will as I build more confidence, and that kind of goes along with the self-esteem thing. I will share all of that with you guys, but for right now, just know that I'm over 200, and I definitely want to get to a good weight. I don't know what that number is just yet. I don't know what that looks like. I've never been thin. I've been chunky my entire life. So I don't know what a good, like, I can't be like, oh, well, in high school, because I was a really big girl in high school. So with that said, I'm going to kind of gauge and see where I'm at when I start losing weight. Okay, this is comfortable. I can lose a few more pounds, blah, 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 whatever. And you know, weight looks different on different people. I stand at 5'5", so I'm going to look chunkier than, say, someone who's 5'8" or 5'6" even. Just a little bit makes a big difference. So, and I'm sure if you are plus size, you guys already know that. So, there's that. So my journey, like I said, is just to kind of better my mental health and to kind of take you guys along with me, because I feel like this is my second win. I feel like I want to actually make it this time, and this is a good way to keep myself accountable, is to make it public and for all of you guys to see. Also, I'd like to hear if there are some experts out there who say, hey, you should try doing this or avoid doing that. You know, I'd love to hear from you guys. Or if you guys are starting off bigger than I am or at my weight, I know you guys don't know that number now, but when you guys do see this video and be like, hey, I kind of, you know, look like her. Because I know as a bigger person, we kind of gauge ourselves when we see other people that we think we might resemble body-wise. So maybe there's something I'm doing that you guys haven't thought of, or maybe there's something you guys are doing that you want to let me know so I can try. Whatever it takes for us to be successful, we can be successful together. So that's the purpose of this channel, is to kind of include you guys beginning to end, rather than just 100 pounds later, I'm like, oh yeah, I lost it. This is what I did, you know, really quick, really easy, because there's a lot that goes into it. There's emotional, there's mental, there's the days you fall back. I just had one 2 days ago where I completely fell off the wagon and I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to do any of this anymore. I don't want to diet. I'm not keeping track. So for the past 2 days, I actually haven't been keeping track of my meals on my fitness pal, but I have been cautious as to what I put into my body. I just got really frustrated because I've been on a strict low carb diet for about 3 weeks and I haven't lost a single pound. And that's really discouraging. So I hope some of you guys can relate, you know, like, hey, that happens, you're plateauing, but you know, we'll see as we get along and we get to know each other a little better. You guys can be like, oh, Reina, I noticed you guys are always doing this, or you're always doing this. You should try that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So let me start by letting you guys know that I used to be extremely heavy in high school, and getting out of high school, I started working for Jack in the Box, and I started eating a lot. That's not to say I'm not trying to bash any fast food restaurants and be like, oh, this is going to make you gain weight. But if you were eating like I was eating, it's definitely going to make you gain weight. So I started working there, and I was already big to start with, and my weight just went up dramatically. And I was like that for years. And none of my friends really noticed or told me anything about it. I think I was just, you know, it's just Reina. Like, it wasn't like, oh, there's our big friend Reina. It was just, there's Reina. you know. So with the, and then of course the love that my friends have for me, they weren't like, hey, you know, you're getting kind of huge, so you should probably do something about that. So that said, I was gaining a lot of weight. I saw it on myself, and I decided to look into weight loss surgery. Sorry, I was eating strawberries earlier. I decided to look into weight loss surgery, and I actually found the vertical sleeve, but it was far off my budget, and this was before insurances would cover procedures like this. So I had heard of the lap band, I had heard of the gastric bypass, and then I heard of vertical sleeve, which was fairly new at the time. So I was really interested in that because I like the idea of not having something inside of me. And I like the idea of, I don't know, it just seemed, and they did it laparoscopic, so it was like really small incisions. Again, I will share that with you guys when I start getting comfortable, but for now, they were really small incisions on my stomach, so I figured it's safer, you know, that's just how I saw it. So I went with that. I did a lot of research. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I just jumped into something and, you know, had results, technically successful results, because I guess if you lose at least 50 pounds, your surgery is considered successful. But I was successful in my results, but I wasn't where I thought I was going to be or anything. And that, I feel, is because I actually got my surgery. Okay, so I did a lot of research. My insurance wouldn't cover it. Me and my dad, mainly my dad, we saved up money, and we decided to go get it done in Tijuana, Mexico. I went on a website and I found a really good surgeon, and I went to Tijuana, which is about 6 hours from me. So it wasn't like a huge, you know, travel or anything. But I went there, and months prior, I was preparing myself. I was dieting. I was reading up on the surgery. I was trying to mentally prepare myself for this because I did watch other YouTubers, and they were saying that mentally it's a complete different experience. So I did all of the research that I could possibly do. I did everything I thought I was going to do. I started taking vitamins before I even got the surgery, just because I found out a lot of hair loss, and as you guys can tell, I have really thin hair. So I wasn't about to sacrifice any of these babies. But so I did everything I could. I went to the surgery. The surgery went great. The only bad thing that I experienced is I have really, really bad acid reflux. Like, I have to take an omeprazole every single morning. It used to be bad to where I couldn't even drink water. Water would give me fucking heartburn. Like, it was horrible. But it's still bad. But now it's more under control, and I still take an omeprazole every day. So that's it. I got my surgery done, and what they don't tell you about the surgery is what happens next, or what happens after your surgery. And I'm not talking about when you're out of surgery, you know, aftercare. I'm talking about 6 months, a year down the road. What happens then? And the thing is, so I started to make a game out of it. I would laugh because I would eat, I was on like a liquid diet, and I was eating popsicles, and I would be like, hey, look, and I'd eat a whole popsicle and then throw it up, and I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. Like, it was just funny to me. Like, I wasn't mentally prepared to, you know, handle all that. And of course, I was social. I'm a very social butterfly. I started drinking wine because they said to start with wine and a little bit at a time, and you get fucked up way faster. But I started drinking wine. I started drinking. I started dating. That's around the time I met my boyfriend, and I'm not blaming him for my weight gain, but that's around the time I met him, and I started like, I could eat this, I could eat that, because I can't eat a lot. So then I just basically began eating the wrong foods. My body could only hold X amount of food, and everything I was giving it was bad. So although I had lost, at the time, I would say I had lost about 50, 60 pounds. So I felt pretty confident. And if you come from being a big girl, like to lose 50, 60 pounds, you start to feel like I could eat whatever I want and I'm not going to gain weight because I have this surgery to save me. And it's not like that at all. Like you still have to obviously do your work. It's very, it's kind of like T-ball. Like you can hit the ball because it's holding it, but you still got to put in the work to actually swing the bat and hit the ball. Like it's not a self-repairing thing by any means. So that had happened. I started playing around with carbs and started seeing what I can get away with. And okay, I can eat this or I can eat that. And that went on for a couple of years. I've had other medical things wrong, little bumps on the road. I'm just going to be open about it eventually. Right now, I'm just kind of introducing myself, so please bear with me. I will let you guys know my full story. But okay, so I had some medical issues wrong, or some medical things wrong, or stuff was happening. Stuff was definitely happening. And I just stopped paying attention to my weight, and although I had been successful in the fact of, or in the like losing weight, I was now plateaued or kind of gaining weight. So it got pretty bad. And I've never really, let's see, a couple years ago, I did an extreme diet with my boyfriend because we were getting ready for a wedding, and we made a bet. I love competition. So we made a bet, who can lose the most weight, who can look the best, and I was getting gains, I was losing weight, I was eating good, I was eating very restrictive, like I was eating the same exact thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, every day for a month. And as you all know, when you do that, you burn out on food. It's kind of hard for me to burn out on food, but it definitely did happen with doing it for a month. And with the food being so bland and so no spice, no nothing, whatever. Like I think the most exciting thing I did to my food was add sriracha. Other than that, it was very bland. It was very, no, not a lot of sodium, no oils, a lot of veggies, and no added butters or anything like that. It was very strict, and it was ridiculous. Like, it's definitely not a lifestyle that you could keep going. But that's what I did to try and lose the weight, and I was successful. I dropped down to sub 200 pounds, which that was for the first time in my life. I dropped down to like 196, I would say. So that's the thinnest, or that's the least I've ever weighed. And, I felt like I was on cloud nine. It was great. I did it. I met my goal weight. So as soon as my very restrictive diet lifestyle stopped, so I was on that train, and then another emergency happened. It was very drastic for me. I lost my mother, and I started binge eating like crazy. Like I would give no fucks. I would get something like cheesecake, and I would, like, granted, because of the surgery, I couldn't fit a whole lot of food in me, but I would eat cheesecake, or I would eat, whatever was available to me. I drink a lot of soda. I drank so much soda, and I was drinking a lot. I was drinking a lot of beer, to be exact. I was going down a horrible path, and for a good reason. I had just lost my mother, and it was just a really hard time. So I started gaining my weight back, and I got, pretty up there in the scale, kind of where we began the second weight loss thing, right before the wedding that me and my boyfriend did. So I got past that weight again, and after that, I got pregnant. I had my first successful pregnancy, and I actually didn't gain much weight up until the end, and that's because the only reason I didn't gain that much weight is because I had gestational diabetes. So that kind of kept me in line of what I could and could not be eating and all that good stuff, which if you guys have had gestational diabetes, it completely sucks. Like, I felt so horrible that I knew about diabetes because both of my parents are diabetic, but never in my life had I experienced diabetes. So when I had gestational diabetes, I would beat myself up for it because my sugar would drop and I would feel like I was dying in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would sit there and like rush to the kitchen, grab something, grab orange juice or whatever was at hand, and I would sit there and cry because I'd never experienced diabetes, and I'm experiencing it when I have my child inside of me. And that's what hurt the most. Like, I wish if I was going to have gestational diabetes that I would have experienced diabetes before being pregnant so I knew how to manage it. But I was actually learning how to manage diabetes while being pregnant for, like it was just a horrible experience. So if you guys have ever experienced gestational diabetes or regular diabetes, I feel you on how horrible that experience can be, which is why I also want to lose weight. I want to try to avoid that situation because it was the most horrible experience I've ever lived through. So that said, okay, so I had my daughter. I didn't gain a whole lot of weight, but after I had her, I started gaining weight because I stopped keeping track of my foods. I stopped being diabetic. So, I kind of went ham on everything and I was eating whatever I want whenever I wanted and stuff like that. So that leads to a year down the road, still gaining weight. I haven't been able to get into let's lose weight zone, So I actually signed up for a gym membership. I got my Fitbit Versa. I did everything I thought, to lose weight, and I didn't do it. I didn't lose weight. So that led me to where I am now. I lost 15 pounds without really trying. I was drinking this tea that they sell at a little Asian store, and it makes you poop. So I took that, and 2 weeks after taking that somewhat religiously, I noticed I dropped 15 pounds, which to me was like, whoa, I dropped 15 pounds. That was just kind of like a pusher, and ever since then I try to jump on the bandwagon to lose weight and go to the gym and eat healthier. And I actually tried about 2 weeks ago. Now, I don't want to give keto a bad name because I know it's done miraculous things for a lot of people. But I did try keto for a couple weeks. And although the lifestyle is somewhat easy to follow, it's hard if you're a social butterfly, as I am, because you can't. Let's see, when we get together with friends, we like to have beers or we like to drink or whatever, eat junk food, whatever, have one cheat day. But the problem with keto, you can have your cheat day, but the problem with that is it knocks you out of ketosis. And when you're out of ketosis, you have to go back into ketosis. So although you have one cheat day or meal or whatever, my cheat meals are substantial enough to like knock me out of ketosis. So I didn't want to go through the keto flu all over again and all that. So, but I did stick to my guns and I was on keto, and I think I was in ketosis. I'm not really sure because I definitely experienced the keto flu that they say, or I feel like I did. But then I jumped on the scale and I hadn't lost a single pound. Now, my clothes does fit me a lot better, and I am very proud of that. I am very happy. I feel healthier. I have more I have more energy, but I feel like the scale, for me, being as big as I am, I feel like the scale like my life is guided by the scale. So I need that number to go down in order for me to feel like I'm doing something worth the damn. Like that's just me. I do plan to try keto later on, like once I get, a couple pounds shed and I'm sub 200 pounds and I feel comfortable enough to where I can start incorporating keto. That is a big diet that I do plan on reincorporating. But right now, not doing that. I actually haven't kept track of my meals, like I said earlier. I haven't kept track of my meals for the past 2 days. So I am mindful at what I'm putting in my body. Hence, strawberries as a snack, but and water. But yeah, I just haven't kept track, and I do plan to. So I'm making this video, I'm making my channel based around the fact that I want you guys to come with me. I want you guys to join on my journey, and I want us to be like, hey, Reina, I've been watching your videos, and you lost 5 pounds. You go, girl, and so did I. Or, like, this is what I did to lose weight, and you should try this. That's what I want. I want self-encouraging, self-encouragement. I don't have a gym partner, and unfortunately, I go to a gym where they don't allow camera or photography. So I do, if this is successful and you guys, that is something you guys want to see, like, Reina, what are you doing at the gym? I will definitely look into getting a membership at a gym where they do allow that stuff, because I want to show you guys as much as you guys want to see, and I want to see as much as you guys will show me. Like, I want us to really be in this commitment together, because I want this time to be different. I want to stick to my guns and just do it right. And I'm sorry if I'm completely saying that wrong. I'm not the brightest, so just keep that in mind. I'm sorry if there's any grammatic errors you guys see, or I talk wrong or whatever, so I do apologize. But yeah, so please come along and help me redeem myself from a life that I've lived very poorly, and all my failed attempts, and help me better my life. And I want to help you guys better your lives, and let's keep each other accountable. Let's just keep in touch. Let's keep this going, and hopefully with all this support, we are going to kick ass at this redemption. Like, I can guarantee you guys that. Let's all redeem ourselves, even if we haven't, I don't know how to say it. Let's all redeem ourselves from who we were yesterday. I'm not saying, oh, well, I wasn't a bad person yesterday, but, just eating poorly or whatever it is. And I promise these videos are going to get better once I learn how to edit. Holy shit, hold on to your guns. But for now, please bear with me. Please don't be too critical of my videos, and enjoy the content that I put out there for you guys. Please note that I am opening my life to you guys, and I'd love for you guys to come along. If you guys disagree with something, go. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to watch my videos. You don't have to, anything, If you guys leave comments, I will read them. If you leave rude comments, I will also read them, and I'll probably laugh and comment back, maybe. I don't know. But we'll see how this goes. So, again, we're all going to kick ass in this redemption. We're going to get through this together. Let's go.